So I just read this whole book in one sitting, which I think is review enough, but this is Half His Age by Jennette Mccurdy, her debut novel. It is about this high school senior named Waldo, and it is about her, spoilers, sexual relationship with her high school English teacher, Mr. Corgi. And it is an angry book. It is a distinctly feminine book. It is real and raw and visceral and so funny and smart and observant about what it is like to be a teenage girl and to want so much and just to not have it and to be doing anything you can to get what it is you want. And it talks about consumerism, the horrific juxtapositions of shit you see on the internet, and it's about her really dysfunctional relationship with her mother, who crosses inappropriate sexual boundaries with her daughter. She talks about having sex with people with her daughter, and she goes to Waldo's place of work, which is Victoria's Secret. I just realized I forgot to say that. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts. I just kind of started talking. I have a list. I wrote a little list of things that I do want to talk about. I don't have a good order for them, but we started. But her mother, for an example of crossing a boundary, is she goes to Victoria's Secret where Waldo works and tries on lingerie in front of her. She's like, come to the dressing room so you can look at the baby dolls and bras I want to buy. I also want to use your employee discount. And just this gaslighting mother. And there's so much. Something else that I wanted to talk about was there's so much. Okay, I'm looking at my list. Waldo is ravenous, is what the first line of this little blurb says. Waldo is ravenous. And throughout the book, she is constantly eating things, and it's all mostly junk food, like chips and Cheetos and microwave meals and candy. And she she does get high fiber cereal and almond milk or something from Mr. Corgi, and she eats one bite and throws the rest out. And she also talks about how every time he takes her to a restaurant, she orders the second most expensive thing on the menu, which is usually fish. And the way she talks about food is really in depth. There's a scene where Waldo is she eats a bag of chips and then drinks all the crumbs and then scrapes the seam with her finger to get the crumbs, and then she turns the bag inside out to lick it. And she is so hungry. She wants to fill this need she has to be seen and heard and understood and desired in the way that she desires a person to be loved and paid attention to for who she is. And she's also constantly buying things online, across different websites, loading up shopping carts, finding the cheapest one, and she uses the phrase lacerate her bank account. And she describes the products she's adding in these really long lists of products with no commas. And the writing style in general, it's very quick, very fast-paced, lots of short sentences, and really very clever, quick, caustic observations of the world and the people around her, and the connections she makes and things are all just so observant and just so powerful. Some lines really hit a gut punch, had me as I was reading, and one of them is I wrote it down, the 40-year-old teacher who's having an affair with his 18-year-old student telling her, you're the one in control here. And also this dude, this teacher is constantly telling her, you have to read this, you have to watch that, and it's all shit made by men. She also wants sex and pleasure, very badly, and she is seeking it through the entire book. And as you probably know, I read and write a lot of smut about Luffy from One Piece, obviously, but I read and write a lot of erotica, a lot of porn. There are sex scenes in this book, and yes, they are hot, although age gap and teacher-student isn't really my kinks. This didn't read, like, most of the sex scenes made me cringe. Because they made her cringe. Like, she doesn't talk about feeling good. She talks about, like, wanting him to want her, doing things she thinks he'll like. She does some things she really likes, like, especially at the beginning, she's, like, fantasizing about being under his desk or, like, licking his belly hairs, and she does some of those things, but, like, there's this, like, really, like, enraged part of her at the same time. And, like, the first scene is a guy going down on her and her being like, I should be enjoying this, but I'm not. And she's trying so hard to like her experiences, and she's not. Like, in a scene with Mr. Corgi, she says she uses a hot girl porn voice, and there's a scene where he goes down on her when she's on her period, and all she thinks is, like, he looks like he thinks he's really hot. Like, he looks like he thinks he's doing good, but, like, she feels nothing about it. And their first hookup is she climbs on his lap in an empty classroom during a school dance, and he doesn't push her off and instead moans her name, and she feels his erection, and how she reacts is like, this is undeniable proof he wants me. I am wanted. She also jerks off a lot in this story, but it's, like, written as these, like, fast, like, mechanical needs that she's fulfilling, that she still, like, she just craves more. She just wants more. And there's no, like the most pleasurable sex scenes for me that, like, seemed like she was enjoying a lot of it was like the first time they had penetrative sex, and she was talking about her mind went blank, and, like, it seemed like she was enjoying it because she couldn't think. And but, you know, one of the lines I really loved was she's with her friend who she doesn't really connect with at a zoo or something, and she's eating this giant bag of Sour Patch Kids, sucking off the sour sugar, and then she's biting back thoughts that she isn't saying out loud, and she's just lying, trying to say what she thinks the people want to hear. And she's, like, drinking the sour sugar at the bottom of the bag, and the last line of the chapter is, I no longer feel my tongue. And I'm running out of time, so one of the first lines of her dialogue, she says she just had sex with somebody and then breaks up with them. They, like, break up together, I guess. She says, do you ever feel like your body and mind are saying two different things? And of course the guy's like, no. And she's like, me neither. And the entire book, she is at war with her body. She talks about, like, these huge beauty routines of, like, scrubbing her skin and shaving and, like, face masks and, like, just all these things that she's not doing for pleasure. She is exhausted by the end of it because she's like, she says there can never be enough scraping or sloughing off of a woman's body. And she hates her hair. There's so much about how she hates her curly hair, and, like, talks about how there's all these different curl patterns, how she conditions it so much. She tries different hairstyles and she hates it. And in the last scene, in the last chapter, she takes her hair down and lets her curls blow in the wind as she drives her car away with an open window. And one of the last paragraphs, like in one of the last chapters, she says, she says, because my body knows more than I do. My body's instincts are loud, and they're right, and they're appropriate and reasonable, and they are not a nuisance. They are wise. They are giving me all the information I need. And the very last line of the book is, right now, I don't want for anything. And she has left this dude, this 40-year-old, where it obviously didn't work out, and she's left her mother, and she left the airport. There was, like, leaving an airport scene, and she is driving away in her car with the window down towards the place her mother always promised they would take a vacation at, and she's going by herself. And it was a perfect ending to the story.